This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I know it may be a little upsetting to those out there that did care about the drama, but yeah, the drama is over with. You know, drama's done. Any and everybody that I do have drama with, there's no drama. It's one of those things, because I know people are going to probably be all like, oh, so let's say such and such makes a video about you. How you going to react to it? I probably will react just to see what's being said, but as far as engaging and letting it carry on for years, like, I don't even want drama to carry on for months anymore. And I will say that, this past year, having it where I'm getting into it, not even with the content creator, but with one of his fans. Like, I'm like, that's degrading. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm better than that. And I know that I'm better than that. I just don't really feel like those that, I guess, try to get into it, with me and stuff when it comes down to, oh, who's the best content creator, this, that. If it's one of those things where it has to constantly be brought up that this person is better than me, that person is better than me, I know that there ain't no competition, and that's what I think a lot of people are trying to, do what they're trying to succeed in. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, and that's the thing. I just feel like I sound like a broken record, and I really don't know how else to put it, but I'm like, there's so many different things to be focused on in life. Like, is your life really that depressing to where the only form of excitement that you can get is by, I want to get into it with TMossBoss, or I want to add more to the drama. Like, that's the thing. I feel like the drama ended a long time ago, so yeah, there's still kind of like, I feel like that right now we're in the credits of my drama, and I'm like, all right, if anybody's gonna end it, it has to be me, and like others had started it, I have to finish it. So, but no, overall, just going through all the different dramas that I've got into it with over the years. Cause, yeah, man, for those that don't know, I've been getting into it with people since 2015. And, I feel like there are some dramas where it's like, it just kind of died off. But there's the three major dramas where I'm like, yeah, I was, strongly apart. Like, I feel like that when it comes down to these three communities, that I'm the one person that stood out the most. Like, because I was really the only person that stood up against these three groups of people and stuff. So, but yeah, starting off with the first one, Minnesota Boy. For those that don't know about that drama, yeah, that was some time ago. But yeah, I know some of you guys may be new to my channel and my podcast. So to explain that real quick,
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay.
No, stop.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
Minnesota Boy was following the trend of this YouTuber that did that. Yeah, Nicole Arbor, she did that video, Dear Fat People. So it was a trend to do video style like that where you're talking to a certain group of people. She did Dear Fat People. There were some out there was like Dear White People, Dear Black People, Dear these group of people, Dear that group of people. Minnesota Boy decided that he wanted to do a video, but just go into a different route of what the video was. Now, yes, the Dear certain group of people videos, they were overall, like, the majority of them were offensive videos, because when Nicole Arbor, when she did that video, Dear Fat People, oh man, I don't think I have ever seen a person get canceled. I had to say she's definitely on that list of people that got canceled, like, on hardcore mode. Like, nah, I mean, fam, she was on, like them talk shows, like I think it's The View or like them type of shows. She was on one of those shows and they were going off on her. She could not catch a break back in 2015. But yeah, she did that video and I don't think her channel has ever recovered after that. Hold on for a second. Let me go to her channel real quick, because it's a name where I'm like, when I mention it, that's when I remember it. But other than that, I'm like, as far as anybody like, oh, did you see that Nicole Arbor video? I'm like, I didn't know she was still doing content. But anyway, is she still doing content? Because I feel like that maybe she might. No, she is. She is still doing content. She actually did a video talking on Jelly Roll a few weeks ago. So no, yeah, she still does content. That's all right. I mean, yeah, no, she's pulling in some decent views too. So cosplay Christian Jelly Roll diss. Oh, she really has some problems against Jelly Roll. Dang, what did Jelly Roll do to her? Yeah, that's one of those things. I'm like, I feel like I gotta see a backstory. I'm like, she done did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is there any more? Cause I'm like 9. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. She done did 9 videos on Jelly Roll. Dang, man. She really has. I don't know. Maybe she's like a wrestling fan. And, yeah, and it's like, cause I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that didn't really like Jelly Roll's appearance. Like, first few times, I thought it was cool, but then it got to a point where I'm like, okay, you guys are doing too much. I'm like, that WWE, relax, okay? But anyways, but getting back to Minnesota Boy, I ain't got a little distracted, but no, so he does his video, Dear White People, Why I Hate White People. And then, after that, it just was downhill from that point forward. Like, he couldn't really survive as a content creator anymore. He was trying to even reignite, old dramas, cause he had got into it with, Blasphemous HD, before he did the Dear White People video. So he gets into it with Blasphemous HD. That drama dies off. Then he goes to VidCon and he's like trying to rage bait, Blasphemous HD. I mean, he walked up on him, tried to put his arm on him and stuff. And the thing is this, like, go watch Blasphemous HD talk about the things that Minnesota Boy was saying. But I'm like, Blasphemous HD is a stronger individual than I am. Cause it's one of those things where I'm like, I probably would have been, I definitely would have been trying to lay hands on him and stuff. So, but anyways, so me and Minnesota Boy, we got into it eventually. And then, from that point forward, it was like, why am I arguing with this guy? There was moments that I was thinking that where I'm like, why am I arguing with this guy? Because you did a video where you declared you're a racist bone in your body. Like, you're like, I am a racist and I am proud of it. That's what you were saying. And so then the funny thing is, so fast forward years later, cause he did disappear off of the internet. He tried to come back and was all like, oh, it was just a social experiment. I'm like, fam, I remember the content that you was doing back then. That wasn't no social experiment. Social experiment is when you do the video one time, and then after that, you're like, the next video is like, oh, that was just a social experiment. But it's like, you were following a trend, and you failed. You thought that, oh, I'm gonna be the messiah of, racist, like, people and things, and attack white people. And I'm like, fam, no. It didn't work for you, and it never was gonna work for you. Yeah, it was like, that was not no social experiment. You were approaching white people on the streets trying to make them feel bad for slavery. Like that was something, that was a form of content that you did. Like, and it was funny because I had called them out on that years ago, where I'm like, you have like this fake racism going on where it's like you only want to be racist on the internet, but you don't want to be racist in like IRL and stuff. And so yeah, as I get older, I'm like, that, you know, that is a hate crime. You can't get arrested behind that stuff. But I'm like, nah, man, you know, you stand so strongly behind that racism. My thing is this. If Chud the Builder did it, Minnesota Boy could have did it too. It probably would have ended the same way, like Chud the Builder, where he finds himself in prison. But the thing is this: at least people know that you are a racist. And so yeah, I just always have found that situation with Minnesota Boy silly, because I'm like, fam, again, there was no drama that was. I mean, yeah, there was drama at one point in time, but yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I'm like, there wasn't even no drama to begin with. You know, it's like, I'll admit, like, I do make the mistake of when I do get into drama with people, that I'll feed into it. I'll make videos and all that stuff. And so yeah, I'm like, I'm done with that, because I'm like, yeah, you know, while I'm doing stuff like that, I'm like, I could be doing something a little bit more important, whether it's voiceovers, reactions, or doing videos for one of my other channels and stuff, you know, or even figuring out some new games to play, just things to do, better things to do with my time, you know. So, but anyways, but yeah, overall, hold on for a second, because I'm taking my Apple Watch off, and you know, sometimes I get a little distracted by notifications and stuff like that. So, but then after Minnesota Boy, I got into it with the Thomas the Tank Engine community, and I know people were like, whoa, wait a minute, time out, you got into it with them? How did that happen? What happened with that whole situation? So, a little bit of a backstory. There was a person, and I don't know, I ain't going, because I feel like that the reason why I'm not mentioning him is because I remember me and him, we did come to an agreement that things did get out of hand and that we're just going to end the drama. And so anyways, but there's this YouTuber that I had got into it with named Clockwork Cyborg, and he had this old crazy fan on his channel named Glenn Gregan. Glenn Gregan stopped being a fan of Clockwork Cyborg, became a fan of me, and then at one point in time, he was just going back and forth, being a fan of Clockwork, being a fan of me, and then just kept doing that. So I was calling out Glenn on his behavior, and then that's when Glenn, he just had like this crazy amount of hatred in his bone towards me, and I'm thinking to myself, you're being annoying on my channel, and somehow, some way, that's my fault. That, like, that's, how, like, what did I do? You're going back and forth from my channel, and I'm like, I'm calling you out on that. I guess, I don't know. I was one of those kids growing up where, you know, if you're, you being a black kid, obviously, you're gonna have a black mom, and that black mom's gonna be like, you ain't gonna be running back and forth inside my house. You either stay outside, or you stay in the house. But all that running back and forth, that's gonna have to stop. So, I was having that mentality when it came to my YouTube channel. I'm like, you ain't gonna be going back and forth. You either stay on that channel or stay on this channel. But I don't want you to stay on my channel. I want you gone off of my channel. Go on about your business. I don't want to be bothered with you. So I think I did block Glenn, but then he was creating multiple accounts, contacting me, being weird and stuff. And so I remember I snapped on him because so it got to a point where he was threatening my friends. And so I'm like, okay, that's not gonna happen. We gonna have to check that. And so, and the funny thing is that people, cause there's a stalker that I'm currently dealing with now, where he's trying to, I guess like reenact like stuff that I've dealt. And I'm like, you're the most unoriginal hater that I've ever seen. Like you do the Milli Vanilli of my haters and stuff. Like you just copying people and things. But anyways, but yeah, that, like I said, we closing the door. I did a video where I was like, I'm closing the door on that guy, locking it, throwing the key. I ain't got nothing else to say about him. But anyways, but yeah, getting back to Glenn. So Glenn had was threatening my friends. I had got on him, or I snapped on him. I was like, no, that's not gonna be happening. You ain't gonna be threatening my friends. And so no, it was funny because people at the time on my channel, they took notice of Glenn, and so they gave him a taste of his own medicine. And then Glenn, he posted a video of himself crying his eyes out. I laughed. People were trying to make me feel bad. They were like, oh, you're laughing at an autistic kid. And it's one of those things where I'm like, if this autistic kid is threatening my life and threatening my friend's life, do you think I'm gonna, I gotta have sympathy towards him because he's and the thing is this, right? There's kids that I went to school with where they did have some form of autism. And I think Glenn, yes, I think it was safe to say he has some form of autism. But I feel like there's those kids where it's like, okay, they have it, but it doesn't hold them back. Like they can still go to normal classes, be normal, do all that other stuff. They just have like a challenge that they have to face. Then there's those ones where it's like, okay, they have to be off in like a classroom to themselves. Like they can't, like I guess like be around in the general school public and stuff. I don't know how else to put it, but yeah, I think we all had those, those schools where they had like a classroom just for like the, like kids that suffered from a serious case of autism, right? Glenn wasn't no serious case of autism. He was aware of the things that he was saying and doing. Because I told them down numerous times, leave my friends alone. Leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered with you. You kept poking at the bear. The bear retaliated. Somehow, some way, that's my problem. Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm not hearing that. Because I know people are going to try to make me feel bad about that. I'm not. It's going to take a lot out. You're going to have to come up with like some Paul Heyman, like I'm saying, like you're gonna have to really make a strong statement. You're gonna have to put some words into me in order for me to have some bone in my body to feel bad about people like Glenn Gregan. That's never going to happen. Any of the people that I got into it with, I'm never going to feel bad for them. I feel bad for those that got involved that didn't need to get involved. But for as far as the people that I personally got into it with, yeah, no, I don't feel bad for none of them. So, but anyways, Glenn posted this video of himself crying. I laughed about it because I'm like, okay, we told you on numerous occasions, leave us alone. We don't want to be bothered with you. So he did disappear for a little bit, came back to my channel. Now he's underneath this Thomas the Tank Engine persona. And then, then at that point, he was trying to live out his, like what he was doing the year prior. It's because it was only a year. Well, it wasn't even really a year difference. It was maybe some months because I think it was like towards the end of 2015 that he came back. He took some months away, then came back in the beginning of 2016. So it was end of 2015, then beginning of 2016. Okay, so but anyways. But yeah, he was underneath this whole like Thomas the Tank Engine persona. So I'm like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. He's going to go after the people that I care for. I'm going to go after the thing that he cares for. So that's why I had started doing these rant videos about Thomas the Tank Engine fans. And then, because though it was funny, it was a fan just recently. He was all like, what did that fan? He said something crazy about me on social media. And I was like, dang, man. I'm like, that's how you feel? I'm trying to see if I can find that tweet, because I think I did take a screenshot of it, but I can't remember if I had deleted it, because I was trying to make some space on my phone, and I can't remember if I had saved that or not. Let's see, do a little bit of scrolling. Here we go. Okay, so he goes, so this was a fan just recently, so he goes on to say, can we just effing kill the YouTuber TMossBoss for saying anybody over the age of 7 who likes Thomas the Tank Engine is a pedophile? Can we just string him up by his innards and slit his throat, chop his genitals off, and mail his dismembered body to his family? This was all over a YouTube video, by the way. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. The thing is this, it was funny because I remember my dad, me and him, we were talking about like how I do content creating stuff. And then I think that's what it was. Like I was telling them about like the success that I had reached with content creation. And he was saying that he was like, that's just crazy how your words can like move people so much. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dang, I guess you put it that way. I'm like, no, I do have a way with words and stuff. And so, yeah, I'm like, then seeing that tweet, I was like, I definitely have a way with words. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, man, I know at the time when I did do that video, I wasn't thinking straight. Like I was just trying to piss off Glenn. I guess I wasn't really thinking that, because I didn't even know about the Thomas the Tank Engine having a community and stuff. So I was unaware of that. I just thought it was Glenn and his friends, because it was that was the reason why I had said that, because Glenn at the time, I think he was like a teenager. I think he was like 14 or 15, but he was being followed and was communicating with people that was in their 20s and 30s. I remember there was 2 accounts, one, the person being 20 something years old. And I'm thinking to myself, you're older than me. At the time, I was like, I was 19 when all that stuff was going on. So I'm like, fam, you're older than me. Then the other person, I think if I remember correctly, they were 35 years old. And I'm like, fam, look, one day I would love to have kids. I would love to have some mini me's running around and stuff. I know they're going to get interested in TV shows, whether it's like them PBS shows or at least the shows that I grew up watching where I'm like, it's like Cartoon Network stuff. It's like things that it's like, okay, you know, it ain't no educational show. It's a show where I can sit around, laugh about. It's a comfort show, right? The thing is this. And I know they're going to, like, with me being heavily involved in the internet, I know that they're going to probably want to get heavily involved in the internet at some point in time. I do not want my kids to have no form of contact with somebody that is, if they are even older than me, the only people that they need to be talking to that's older than me is friends and family. Random strangers, that's a fat no. And I know people are going to probably be all like, oh, you're trying to have a hold on your kid. Yes, they are my kids. I am going to have a hold on them. I'm not going to just be all like, oh, be okay with them. Oh, yeah, kid, go talk to grown adults that's pretending to be cartoon characters from a PBS show. Yeah, that's normal. Oh, it just must be the wind. Yes, I'm going to want to protect my kids. Any parent's going to want to protect their kids. That's the thing that tripped me out so much about that, because I think a lot of the stuff that I had said, it just went over people's head. But I will admit, I wasn't really that good at, I guess like over the years from that point, all the way up until now, I will say that I did get a little bit better at, wording videos differently and stuff, so anyways. But I do remember I did this video where I was talking about the Thomas the Tank Engine. Mainly was talking about Glenn and his friends, but I didn't realize that it was a whole community. So anyways, yeah, the community came after me. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, who are you guys? And I'm like, how does this even concern? So then that's when I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I realize I offended you guys. These videos were for Glenn and his friends. And so, yeah, that's when they kind of just backed off and things. But I'm like, there was even no drama. Again, there wasn't no drama with that situation, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if you done got offended by something that I said, most likely whatever I said is true. You definitely somebody that needs to be on the radar of like the FBI, police, somebody. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what's wrong with me calling out adults that's having inappropriate conversations with minors? And I know people are gonna be like, not all the adults are like that. That's the thing. This is the internet. You don't know what type of adult. The thing is this, there can be adults where they will contact you and they'll try to paint this picture like, oh, I'm only wanting to talk about Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, well, it's like, let me get a little bit personal. Oh, how's school going? Oh, how's the household? Oh, you have a little sibling? Oh, that's cool. How old are they? I'm like, oh, where did the parents be? What do they do for work? Oh, what are they? Next thing you know, you have a full-grown adult at your house. And I know people are going to probably be all like, oh, you're overthinking it. Oh, it's like you're blowing things out of proportion. They're going to try to come up with every excuse possible. There have been situations, okay? And I mean, fam, this stuff has been acted out in TV shows, movies. If you have some form of a communication with an adult, and I guess like if it's somebody, because I feel like somebody like me, because I know people will probably be all like, what's the difference between myself and somebody that's pretending to be a train from Thomas the Tank Engine? You guys know who I am. You've seen my face. Some of you guys may even know my government name. You know what state that I live in. So if I was doing something crazy, people know where to find me. But that's the thing. I'm not going to be putting myself in no situation where I am going to be going to prison for the rest of my life. These guys, on the other hand, we don't know where they are. We don't know what they look like. We don't know nothing about them. All we know is whatever they put in their bio, and they're a fan. Probably not even a fan. They just have some Thomas the Tank Engine account.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
I'm not giving up.
I am selling the building.
The final season of FX's The Bear.
The restaurant is flooded.
Everything's either going to be okay
No, stop.
Or not.
We are outgunned and we are outmanned, but we have each other.
FX's The Bear, the final season. All episodes now streaming on Disney+.
That's the difference. You know who I am. We don't know who's behind those accounts. I don't mind telling people my intentions when it comes down to being a content creator. I want to become a successful content creator, make money, and live out my days as a happy person. Those are my intentions. What's their intentions? And do you think that they're going to be telling the truth when they tell their intentions? See, that's why I'm like, people, I'm going to say this much when it comes to down to that Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. You guys need to educate yourself with the internet. You know, it's like, yeah, you guys might be on here wanting to have fun and all that other stuff, but you really need to educate yourself when it comes down to being on the internet, because trust me, there's a lot of people that thought along the lines, oh, I'll never hear a story like that, or I'll never be in a situation like that. They end up hearing stories like that. They end up being in situations like that. That's the thing. You can't trust everybody on the internet. I don't even trust me on the internet. I'm not saying I'm going to do something crazy, but I'm just saying, do not trust nobody on the internet. The only thing, and that's the thing with me, and I don't mind saying this. The only reason why you guys need to come to my channel is to watch my videos, be entertained by my content. There should be no background conversations, I guess, and that's the thing too with me. The conversations that I will have with people on the internet is conversations where, like, so for a kid, for an example, kid comes to my stream. Yeah, let's just say kid comes to my stream. We get to talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. That's all that the conversation is going to be. But I'm going to make sure of it that I'm going to have the same conversation that I would have with them as if their parents were present. So I'm like, I guess like that's because the person that had the one that was all like, oh, cut my genitals off and all this other weird crap. They was all like, I remember they were trying to say that underneath that tweet that I was that it's like a self-reflect thing. And I'm like, fam, I'm not going to do something to a child or to anybody that I wouldn't want to happen to me or my kids. So you may, and that's the thing, again, these are one of those accounts where we don't know their government name. We don't know what they look like. We don't know nothing about them. Those are the accounts that you need to have on your radar. So yeah, but yeah, with that Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, I was like, man, you guys, I was like, y'all need to, like I said, educate yourself when it comes down to the internet and stuff. So, and then last but not least, the Just a Robot drama. So for those that don't know how that drama started, it was all because of me defending people that do reaction videos. Meanwhile, he defended a whole pedophile or groomer or predator, whatever you want to call the girl. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so it's okay for you to do what you did, but it's a problem to do what I'm doing. How is that? How many people do we know? And this is a question that I've asked before, and I want to ask it again. How many people do we know that went to prison for doing reaction videos? Let's just look that up right now. Has anybody went to prison for doing reaction videos? Searching, no creator has gone to prison strictly for making copyright compliant, whatever that word is, reaction videos, commenting on it or on what? Commenting on or reviewing. I don't know why Google worded it that way. Someone else's media under fair use. However, internet personalities have faced jail time for recording public nuisance, harassment, or criminal stunts, such as Johnny Somali. So yeah, that content creators like that, yes, they have went to prison. But yeah, as far there's like reaction / commentary videos protected under fair use guidelines. Legal issues are strictly civil. So yeah, I'm like, okay, so let's see. Has anybody ever been sued for doing reaction videos? Let's just see. Oh, yes, content creators have been sued over reaction videos, and the legal landscape is defined by high-profile copyright battles over counts as fair use. So there's like, Ethan Klein, there's like landmark defense case. So Ethan and Gila Klein, H3H3 Productions were sued by Matt Haas over a reaction video critiquing his content. So yeah, stuff like that. I think when a person gets offended, then they'll sue the person. But anyways, but other than that, it doesn't look like there has been any other form. And that's the thing where I'm like, when I do reaction videos, I do reaction videos of stuff that I know I'm gonna find entertaining. But content that I don't find entertaining, yes, that's content that I avoid. I've done that before where I'm like, if I know I'm not gonna like this video, I'll be halfway through the reaction and I'm like, you know, not even that. I'm like, first few minutes, if I'm not entertained, I exit out that video and I go on about my business. So, and it's funny how mentioning that YouTuber Glenn, that was one of the reasons on why he really had it out for me, was because he wanted me to react to this video and I wasn't entertained by that video. I was like, no, the video, it's like, I ain't gonna say that the video is stupid, but it's definitely one of those videos where I'm like, maybe if I was your age, I will probably find, or around your age, I will probably find that video funny or entertaining. I don't find that video entertaining in my adult years. And it was like a video of ponies, like animated ponies killing each other. So I was all like, nah, man, I'm not into that type of content, but I ain't trying to have it where I'm like, I ain't got sued because I ain't said some overly disrespectful and things about these people and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, you know, looking back throughout the years, and I mean, yeah, 10 years of just going back and forth with that guy and his audience, looking back at it, I'm like, a lot of them are hypocrites, you know, the stuff that they called me out on, because it's things that they've done themselves. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what? Again, all the drama that I have been a part of, that's drama that people that have made up in their head, and they want me to be a part of it. And that's the thing. I don't want to be a part of it no more. I don't want to be involved in no more dramas. I'm done. I'm closing the book on drama too. I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, if you have a problem with me, go talk to it with a therapist or somebody. But I don't care if you have a problem with me. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to change who I am or leave the internet because you don't like my content. Like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, if you do not like my content, exit out my channel, exit out my accounts, exit out of anything with the name TMossBoss attached to it, and go watch somebody that you find more entertaining. I know I'm not the most entertaining content creator in the world. I'm not even trying to aim to be the most entertaining content creator in the world, but I am going to put out entertaining content. And if people subscribe to my videos, or to my channel because of my videos, why would I stop doing what I'm doing? So that's why I'm like, yeah, you know, if people, they try to have like an opinion on your channel and stuff, and I'm like, please go on about your business. I ain't hearing that. So, but anyways, with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on a podcast streaming service. And peace.